Have you ever wanted the Carbon Canyon mode back in Need for Speed? If you ask me, to be honest, it's one of those things. I really enjoyed Carbon from Carbon. It was one of the things that really made that game a special experience, and in a way, you can kind of do it in Payback. This is something which I imagine probably not a lot of people have looked into, and rightfully so. It's a bit hidden, to be honest, but there is kind of a way... Why? But there is kind of a way you can actually do this in Payback. Now, it's very make-do. It's obviously not its own dedicated mode. If it was its own dedicated mode, I'm sure you guys would have heard about it now. The game's obviously been out for like, what, 2-3 weeks? So that's that. But there is a way of doing it, and it's through the roaming racers. So if we go over to the map here and we zoom out, we can see we've got a roaming racer here called Cassandra. We've got one here called Lindsay. If you filter by locations, it kind of gets rid of everything on the map, and you can see the roaming racers that there are. And there's actually a certain few that will roam around the canyons. Now, this one, Lindsay, I believe she's in a R8. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is wait for her to come up to the canyon. And once she's up to the canyon, I'm going to show you guys what I'm actually talking about, and that I'm not just speaking out my ass. So if you give me a second, we're going to find Lindsay. Oh, fuck Lindsay. We have a challenger. Right, so we've got Cassandra here. She is in a level 180 car. So at really low end, we are definitely going to be... Don't hit roaming racers! I didn't even know that was a thing. What the fuck? What happens if I hit her? Nothing happens. Right then, but anyway, if we go ahead and press RB, as long as you're on the canyon, you can kind of initiate this little sequence here. What will happen is you're going into a roaming race. If you haven't already done one of these, they're actually kind of cool. So it's kind of got its own progression line, and you'll get this, which is an outrun. Now, if you've played Need for Speed before, you'll know what an outrun is. If you get further enough away, you'll get points. If you get to 100 points, you win. And if you are in the canyons, this is pretty much Need for Speed Carbon's canyon mode, really. Obviously, this isn't going to be any... Oh, fuck me. That crash cams need to go. Why are they still in this game? Oh, my lord, I'm actually going to lose. I'm actually going to fucking lose. Now, if you initiate this kind of further up in the canyons, obviously, it's going to be a bit better. I've kind of done this in a bit of a weird spot just for video purposes sake, to show you guys how this works. But if you kind of initiate this in the top of the canyons, it really, honestly, it's a striking resemblance to how it worked in Carbon. In Carbon, you got points if you get further away. In this one, it's very, very, very similar, except instead of having it on a dedicated track and having it, you know, with points and stuff, it's with the kind of outrun timer, and it's kind of a really good make-do if you want to kind of get some of those nostalgic vibes back. The only issue with this is that if you don't start in the right place, you are going to end up going through kind of the little city area here. I'm pretty sure all the outrun races have a similar kind of map layout, so you're probably going to end up racing in the same areas anyway, which is really, really cool. And obviously it's going to get harder the further you progress. 10 points to go, and Tyler has won. That's what I'm talking about. So as you can see, bunch of progression things we've got to do here. That is a huge jump. Let's go find ourselves another one. Let's go and find ourselves another victim. Right, so as we can see, Lindsay is over here, and she's actually in a relatively high-end car. So we're going to see if we can intercept her. Right, we need to get to her before she kind of gets away. I'm pretty sure that Lindsay girl is the one that owns the R8. Is it weird that I already know that and the game's been out for like 2-3 weeks? I'm addicted. I'm a drug addict. Right, she's a lot further ahead than I thought she was going to be. There's honestly so many striking resemblances from this and Carbon's canyon mode. The fact you can fall off the canyons, obviously it's not going to end your race because it's not its own dedicated thing, but like the fact you can fall off the mountains, you know, the whole idea of getting more points if you get further ahead, very, very similar, like a bit of a striking resemblance. I was a bit shocked to find how much progression there is with the roaming racer stuff. I honestly didn't expect it to be so kind of in-depth, I guess. Right, we have caught up with Lindsay on the uphill, which makes me think that this battle is probably going to end up being on the downhill, and she's in the R8. So this should be a relatively easy race. I am playing on hard. For those that don't believe me, suck my teeny penis. Right, so here we go then. We're going to go ahead and knock. This should be relatively easy. This car's maxed out, 399, so yeah. Yeah, we've kind of left her, to be honest. Like I said, these races do get harder the further you get in. I'm pretty sure you're kind of supposed to do them as you're playing through the story, but I didn't really bother on my Xbox. I played on my PS4 first, so I've got a bit more progress over there than I do over here. The good thing about these roaming races is that there's 2 sets of canyons in this game, and they're in both sets of canyons, I believe, and also, as well as that, they're also in the city areas. So if you want to go ahead and do this in the city areas as well, you can do that if you want to as well. This specifically, tell me this doesn't remind you of like something from like Carbon's canyon mode. Like, tell me. If you're saying no, you're lying. And we've absolutely smashed it there. Partially because my car is... Wait, what? Right, it's fixed itself. And I think we've won. Second win! Too good, Lindsay. It was the same girl again. I swear she was just in a 911. I could have sworn she was just in a 911. Ow. You pretty much get the point of what I'm saying here. As long as you see him on the mountain, you initiate it, and it's just a bit of a canyon battle. I know roaming race is probably a mode which not a lot of people have looked into, just because it's one of those things that you look into games, and it's kind of one of those things that you'll neglect just because of what it is. And I completely understand, like, I get it. It's just really, really nostalgic. Really, really nostalgic. It really honestly brings back so many memories for me. In the actual story mode, you do a canyon battle, and it is one of the most nostalgic things at night. Like, when you do this at night, obviously you can do it at any time because they're roaming races. But when you do this at night, you know, with all the, like, there's no lights in the canyons or anything, so it's just pitch black. It really, really is cool. Probably helps that I'm in Most Wanted themed M4 as well. That probably adds to it as well. Right, there we go. We finally met up with this Cassandra girl. Have I got these two confused? Because I could have sworn we've already faced someone in a line level. Stop telling me to not hit roaming races. I do what I want. Right, so here we go. The final one, just to kind of show you what's going on. I'm sure you guys fully understand what's going on, but, like, I just want to do another one. If you want to make it a bit more of a challenge, come in with a less upgraded car. To be honest, like, if you just mess around with the speed cards you have for whatever car you're racing with, you probably can balance it out a bit. I honestly just come into this race just expecting it to be well, but obviously, as you can tell, something is a bit unfair. Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do all of these races from silvers, and in the next kind of episode of this, you know, next time I come up on the canyons, we're going to face the boss, and we're going to see what the boss has to do. Hopefully we get a reward for it. I imagine we'd get a reward for it. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. You guys have an awesome, stay safe, and peace.